I'm David Volpe, President and Deputy CIO at Emerald, joined by our tech team, Steve Amsterdam, Nate Jones, and Derek Fisher. We're going to be talking today about 6 weeks of Groundhog. For 30 plus years, Emerald has utilized Groundhog Day, like Punxsutawney Phil, to make predictions in terms of what's going to happen in the market. My hope and my experience has been we've been a little bit more accurate than Punxsutawney, but we thought it'd be a great idea to have our tech team talking about some of the different potential themes and some of the breakthroughs that they're seeing and going to see in 2025. So I'll turn it over to Steve.
Okay, so for our first conversation, we talked a lot about AI and other things. So for this prediction for 25, I'm going to go away from AI. But I think one of the areas in 25 that is going to see some emphasis is embedded technology, particularly in defense. Because there's been a lot of discussion, as you would expect, given the geopolitical issues globally and peer threats emerging, that defense is a priority, national security is a priority, and the force structure of not just in the United States, but globally, is becoming a little bit aged and difficult to maintain. And as a result, there's been a new focus in looking specifically at the new administration and DOGE, where there's an emphasis on ROIC, even within the military, and more effective procurement. And I think the answer to that is technology, and much of that technology is at least partially commercially developed. So I think defense electronics, embedded tech, and whether that is drones, autonomy, however you classify that, I think defense electronics, defense technology is going to see some activity in 2025.
It certainly seems like that's an area that should benefit from kind of an increased focus on reshoring and making things domestically. It would feel
absolutely.
Yeah. So
go ahead, Nate.
And just to kind of elaborate on one of the points I made before was the fact that we are in a part of the market cycle where there has been a big downdraft on a lot of cyclical areas within the technology market. And I think you're going to get a lot of angst on the AI portion of the market, especially in infrastructure, given the strong 2-year outperformance. And I think you're starting to see that a little bit. The DeepSeek was a catalyst for that. But I think, just from a valuation perspective, because there are some areas that have lagged so much, I think that the prediction I'm going to make is that you're going to see significant outperformance within technology for these areas. And I think automotive is an area that has been left for dead. And I think that is a pretty non-consensus call that we're going to see investors coming back to automotive technology companies, in particular those focused on autonomous driving and safety systems, and those types of applications that are going to benefit from AI, as we go forward, but areas that are very, very out of favor. And I think that's going to be true across the industrial world. There's a number of areas that have, bottomed and are moving past that bottom. Inventories have gotten low. Book-to-bills are starting to finally increase. These are things that I don't think the majority of investors are focusing on yet, as a lot of people are still very much focused on the AI names.
My contribution would be, I just think I don't really know as much of a bold prediction as much as a logical conclusion, which I think we're going to see a lot more M&A this year. We've seen we have more the regulatory environment's a lot friendlier. Obviously, we've talked to a lot of companies out there that are looking either to consolidate some of the privates out there to build out their feature functionality, their stacks. But we think M&A is a big thing, and then also IPOs. I think there was a couple of IPOs last year during the second half of the year that were very well received. I think you'll see a number of large IPOs here coming in the next couple of months. I think you'll start first with some of the bigger names, then eventually that'll filter down to some of the smaller names as well. But I think you'll see a surge here in IPO activity just because I think there's a real appetite for it.
That's great. Well, appreciate your predictions. We appreciate you listening in, and I look forward to listening and providing you with additional different segments related to various topics. So thank you.